Hi, welcome back to another episode of Behind the Seams with WeGotEm Tees. I'm Kim, and today's special guest is my husband, the man behind the madness, George Payro. Today might get a little off-kiltered because he really wants to be funny, and we'll see how all of this goes. And I have some questions for you that he knows nothing about. He doesn't know I'm going to ask him these questions, so we'll see if he can stay focused.
And I was asking his questions this morning.
Probably not likely. He's not going to be focused. But I'm going to try to rein him in. Okay, so the first thing I think that people want to know is a little bit about us. So my first question is, what was your first impression when you met me? Ooh.
Oh my gosh, that's going back 30
You better
plus
say
years.
you were cute. You better say you were cute.
I thought you were really cute.
Okay,
I met you
good.
at swim team at Mount San Antonio College.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember I got to ask her out. And you said no. Because
Yes, I
of
did.
my shoes.
Yeah, you had ugly shoes.
And here I am,
Yeah.
30 years later
You won
still.
me over. What is it like being married to an entrepreneur? That's me.
Okay, we're talking about you now.
Yeah, we're talking about
Okay,
me. What
so-
is it like being married to me?
You know, you're like that little squirrel
I
from
know
over
what
the
you're
hedge.
going to say. Oh,
So
at least you
you're-
didn't say Tasmanian
You're
devil.
all over the map. Well, I'm trying to keep it a little
okay.
bit lighter. But there's a lot of energy, and I like energy. You know, I spent my entire career basically selling cars and in the car business, and there was always energy there. And so I think a lot of it has bled off into you, and now you're bleeding it back into me.
Okay, that's an okay answer. What is the okay? Think about this. What's the best part about being married to me, and what's the worst part about being married to me? And you have to keep it clean.
Well, then forget it. You know, the best part of being married to you. You know, the dedication, especially to the kids, your kindness. You're very kind, so you keep me, when I want to go off kilter and I want to go in the negative, you know, the world sucks. You're like, no, the world isn't that bad. And you're like, well, you're right, Kim, the world isn't that bad. So it's keeping, we keep each other grounded in that aspect.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
there's a really good balance there.
So okay, that's good. What's the worst part? You evaded that question. What's the worst part about being married to me?
Your multiple personalities. that tends to be a problem. We're never sure, you know. But,
Who's gonna wake up in the morning?
Yeah. Well, in the morning you wake up.
Well,
okay.
that
It
is
just all
determined
depends on-
by you.
Well, no.
You
how the workday goes
bring
too.
out which person wakes up the next morning. Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes, that is so true. It's so true. What's the hardest part about being married to me?
You know what? I don't. There's no hard part. It's real easy being married to you.
He can stay.
So
He can stay.
It's not. It's never been. I've never sat there and go, wow, you know, this is hard. No, it's just. There's been challenges. We've had our ups and downs.
Sure.
You know. So,
yeah, always.
But it's never been hard.
Oh, that's good.
Never been hard.
I'm glad. Don't ask me that same question. Okay, next question is, what do you think that most people don't know about me? I mean, that's a hard one because I kind of am a big fat loudmouth and everybody knows everything.
You know, one of the discussions that we have all the time, you and I, is our transparency, especially on emotions. So I whoever you are or what people see is what they get. So that there isn't anything like a secret. You know, there's a lot of people out there that cover their lives or are secretive, and you know, you never know. And so it's just, but you're.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, I mean, both of us really. That's why our family sometimes thinks that we're both kind of crazy because we're very transparent. Right?
Yeah,
So,
and I do, and I also wear my emotions on my sleeve, so you know everything.
Yeah, but there's a benefit to that because
Right.
we don't have to be explaining ourselves, or we don't have to be like, okay, what was a cover-up story? We just,
Right.
it is what it is.
Right,
you know?
right. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, it's all right there. Yeah.
It's all of it. What do you think our biggest personality difference is? Ooh, that's a good one. What's the biggest difference between you and I?
You know, it comes down to, honestly, I'm a lot more zen. And,
Really?
yes. You
You're not
are a
zen.
nut sometimes. Up and down, and emotions. It's just this cold. Yes, emotionally, I'm more of a, and I'll do a blip, right? You're just like, so. So. Yes.
Okay, so you just think that's our biggest personality difference is, I think our business personality difference is you're mean and I'm not. Right?
Okay, maybe. I don't know if I'm mean.
Ask the kids.
But if I take my hat off, everybody thinks one thing.
That.
If I put the hat on, it's another, right?
Right.
I'm not. I don't mean to be mean. I'm very.
You're more direct.
I am very direct. Yes.
And I really think about people's feelings a lot
because of your kindness.
Yeah.
Yes, because of your kindness.
And you're just more direct. I don't think you do it to intentionally be mean. I just think people's feelings aren't necessarily on the forefront of your brain.
We again, we've discussed that, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm very direct and honest also. And again, that's
it's just a difference.
Yeah,
I think that is our biggest difference for sure. What do you think about like owning this business in the last 10 years? How has it changed our marriage? What do you think? Do you think
it hasn't?
No, you don't
think
so?
No, our dynamics have stayed the same.
I think so too. Again, I think you're right.
Yeah. The only thing is, as we get older...
We're still freaking funny. I mean, I think
I'm the funny one.
No,
I'm the funny one.
I'm way more funny than you.
I don't think so.
I think so.
No, British, Latino.
No.
Okay, so...
No, not the truth.
But you threw me off. Now I don't know.
Oh, sorry. How has the business changed our marriage?
It hasn't. Again, the dynamics stayed the same.
I think so too. I agree with that.
As the years go by, I think it's gotten better. I mean,
sure. Marriage is hard, regardless of business or no business.
We're putting together our ecosystem, and this business hasn't really done anything to affect our business. I mean, our marriage at all.
I kind of feel like it. In one sense, it's made. Surprisingly, I think in one sense it may have made it even better because we do get to spend a lot of time together because of it, and like I'm grateful for that. Where. When you were working outside of this business, we were, you worked long hours. So I think that being able to spend the time that we spend together is good. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't change it.
I agree because towards the beginning when I first, we were trying to put a household together. Yeah. People did think you were a single mom for a while.
Yeah, because you worked a lot. You worked a lot. So, I mean, I'm grateful for that part of it because I feel like, of course there's challenges, but getting to spend the time that we get to spend together, I think is worth it.
Our travel has increased. And, and post-COVID, when I got out of the car business, my health has gotten better and we're moving forward in a good way.
Well, that's the next part of my questions here is a lot of people don't know you as well as they know me. And so tell everybody that what your life was before you left your quote unquote corporate job. Like what did you do and what did your life look like before this?
It was car sales is very intense, and the hours are. I mean, I had a boss that at one point said an 8-hour day was part-time. So it was really So some of us at work were like, an 8-hour day is part-time. Oh, come on. So, but it was always 9:00 in the morning to 9:00 at night, and if a deal was going on, it wasn't home till midnight, right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think
we didn't really have time to ever vacation. I know that the first maybe 20 years of our marriage was
maybe more than that.
Yeah, it was always just work.
Our first real trip we went on was for our 25th wedding anniversary.
Our 25th wedding anniversary was our first real trip. We did like some Yosemite and some camping, but never.
Yeah. But a lot of that was just. I mean, you were knee deep in work trying to support me and the kids, and I was lucky enough that I had this business, but it was a small business that worked out of the house. So really I was raising the kids and, and you worked a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So the time separation was
yeah, and one of the things, if you remember, when I'd be off, right, I needed to be off. Like it was if I was off on a Friday, I was off. I did nothing that Saturday, Sunday, and we had to go do something. Remember?
Yeah,
it was
and those weekends were few and far between. It wasn't like it was every
weekend off, or
weekend
sometimes
that you
every
got
other
home.
weekend. It all depended because the schedules were constantly changing.
Right.
So,
and it was hard because you were working a lot, but then that also left the entire household and raising kids
on your shoulders.
On me. You know?
And I apologize for that.
Well, we both kind of. It's almost like you lived. And I know many people do this. It's like you're living two separate lives almost, and you come together every night, but you were living two separate lives. Where now I feel like we live the same life. Like I feel like we live more in together now.
Yes.
So did you ever imagine that we would own a business like this?
No,
really? I thought your answer would be yes.
No, I always wanted to have a business, but I never thought we'd be in the t-shirt business or we'd be doing Letterman jackets, right? When you're basically your mom gave up the equipment and we just said, hey, we're gonna take we'll take the equipment, right? And we set up shop in your garage. It's still, even in my head, I was like, okay, you have something to do,
hobby,
some cash money, so and you're at least next to the kids, and so it was all inside the house,
right? But you never thought it would be what it is today.
No, I mean if you remember, I never imagined that it would turn into this. From the moment that you and we would go to ABC monogramming, remember, and you would, and at one point when she finally decided to retire, and we negotiated a deal,
a killer deal.
It was a strange thing that happened. And we walked out that day, and you looked at me, and you're like, you're like, did you just buy? An embroidery business? I'm like, yeah. And
I was like, I don't know how to do that.
And I'm like, well, we'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And our entire life has been that way, right? We just do these things and we're like, well, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
And so we never quit. We always move forward. Well, one of the things that everybody should do is never quit and always move forward. When you find yourself in a spot, I'm not going to do it, or it can't happen. It can happen.
It can happen.
And you can make it happen.
And you can't be afraid of the things you don't know how to do.
You cannot, because everybody can learn. Everybody can learn. There's
that's
nobody
one thing.
Can't,
that's one thing that I feel like is the biggest thing that I've learned from you. I know you think it's your sense of humor, but it's not. I think that the biggest thing that I've learned from you is to have that confidence that even if I don't know how to do it today, I have the capability of learning how to do it, and I can learn how to do it tomorrow. And I think that's a big thing that stops people from opening their own business or doing their own thing, is that they think that, well, I don't know how to do that. Well, you're capable of learning. Yeah. You're capable of learning.
Well, how many times did we sit there and how are we going to do the bookkeeping? How are we going to do the checks? We can do it.
Right.
And what our art looked when we first started to what now, between...
It's still evolving, even now.
And it keeps getting better, and we find better techniques. And
yeah, and I think that's important when you're in any kind of business, that you're always evolving and growing, because if you're not, you're dying.
If you're not, you're dying,
It's one or the other. What do you think that was, one of the biggest sacrifices that we made in the beginning?
We put every single dollar that we had to buy the machines.
Which was a big sacrifice.
So
we had no...
Financially, that was a sacrifice.
Backup plan.
Yeah. As far as work and stuff, we were already knee deep in putting hours in and stuff. So that was just a natural transition.
Change.
Yeah, that didn't change to put all the effort in to get the place started.
It's more the finances.
It's just putting every dollar in, and we've been taking that risk.
No safety net.
Yeah, and but... it just that
sometimes I think
though,
and sometimes I think when there is no safety net, it just you have no option but to make it work. You know what I mean? You just it sounds scary and everything, but sometimes when you have a safety net, you also don't hustle the way that we hustled to make it work. We had to. We didn't have a choice. What was the turning point when you realized that this business was serious and that we could make a real go of it? Do you remember?
After our first year in business, I think we did, it was 186,000 in sales or something like that. And it wasn't that, like, it was like, oh, well, okay. After paying all that cost, it's like, okay, so it's all right. But then we doubled and we tripled, and then we just kept. And so after that first year, I thought, and then the second year when we doubled, I'm like, wow, okay. Mm-hmm. And then, but we've always looked at it like, because we always I do stupid stuff with numbers and statistics and and I told
you
and,
are
and
a
I remember telling
you love data.
Yeah, look at the business, look at the T-shirt business, just the garment district on its own, how many billions of dollars a year, and all we need is just a fraction of that.
Tiny little part. We're tiny little part.
Yeah, and so you begin to realize this stuff, and then when we found our niche with the Letterman jacket, it seems like we have a really nice niche with the Letterman jackets, and that was due to buying that chenille machine when we weren't sure if we were going to.
Because again, I didn't know how to do it.
Right, and there was something that just said, I think we need to get one of those.
The chenille machine, buying the chenille machine was really a game changer, because it is something that not everybody does. And, embroidery, screen printing shops are, a dime a dozen. There's, 10 in every town or whatever. But the chenille machine and being able to produce the patches on our own, I think, was a big deal.
Oh, yeah?
A big deal.
Yeah, big deal.
Yeah. Okay, so, you don't come into the shop every day. So kind of what do you do behind the scenes for the business? Like, what is your role? What do you do to help WeGotEm Tees?
Absolutely nothing.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
I have a routine in the morning. Obviously, I do all the numbers, right? So I'm balancing the checkbook, reconciling accounts, making sure all the bills are paid. So anytime
that's
you guys
a big deal.
Yeah, when you guys are buying shirts.
Because I don't like that part.
No.
And if it were up to me, I wouldn't pay anything.
So, yeah. So I make sure that all the accounting, all the bookkeeping, everything is in place. Now we recently acquired bookkeepers a couple of years ago, which really helps. Get yourself a bookkeeper. So,
yep.
And then obviously handling investments and handling any type of big purchases, keeping the machines running.
I think the biggest part of your job, and I don't even think you actually realize that it's part of your job, but I need you to recognize that it's part of your job, because I need you to actually do a little bit better job of this.
Okay, all right.
Okay. It's like managing me. Like when I'm overwhelmed, or like being my sounding board and being like my support. I think that like if I didn't have that, then I wouldn't be able to come back here and like you help me regroup. You know what I mean? Or even just like talking out a problem or stuff like that. I mean, I think that part is like underestimated, how important that part is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I can't imagine if I didn't have that to do what that would be like, because I feel like because I have you to do those things with, it lets me come back every morning in like a good mental space. So then I can give like our employees the best of me. You know what I mean? Where if I didn't have that, then they wouldn't get the best of me. Right. So I do think that's a big deal for me, which I think that, since you quit the car business, that's made me better, just because I feel like I have, like, in my mind, it's like you're just this person that picks me up at the end of the night and gets me all fixed up so I can go back out. You know what I mean?
We do have some, we have had some, you're right. I never thought about it like that.
I think it's a big part. It's a big part of the job, actually. And again, I don't think that you actually understand how important that is, because if I didn't have that, I don't know if I could come back here every day and be the person that I want to be for the people that work for me, for the customers and everything else. I think that's important. Do you think that your time that you spent in the car business has actually helped our business?
Oh, for sure.
I do too. I feel like that was a big
the
deal.
information that I got.
Just in sales in general, and
more in sales, not so much the car business,
and
but
business,
it was just selling it in business sense. A lot of people that I worked with.
Because I didn't know anything about business. I mean, this was.
I don't think most of us do when we start out in our 20s, right? And we just over time you pick up stuff, and most of my selling career was at Victorville Motors, and it was run. It was run pretty well. There was a group of management team there between Tim Watts and Chet Watts, the two owners, and Billy Mack, the general manager at the time, and Kevin. There was a lot of knowledge there that
you were
that
able
was
to
passed
absorb,
on, and I was able to get that.
Yeah.
And you go to the different symposiums, and they send you to finance classes, and they send you to this class and that class, and all of that information. I mean, if you remember, I used to carry just a bag full
lot
of
of books.
Right.
You are.
Well, I got all the books, and then the bags with papers and forms, and that translated to here.
I think so too. I think it actually is one of the biggest things that has really helped us is we've been able to take information that you learned outside of here in the corporate world, just how businesses are run and how to treat people and how to treat customers and things like that. I think that that skill set really has helped us grow this business, for sure. Let's see. What is the most stressful part of the business for you?
This business? I really don't have, again, I always go back to selling, and that was so stressful because there was a saying, you go from hero to zero. So, you finish your month and then you started the next month at zero, but they always expected you to win to beat the last month, right? So that was always, you were always under the gun. So this come in here, So there really isn't much stress. The only stress that sometimes I run into is, hey, payroll's a little bigger,
right? Right. So I think maybe the other thing too is because we do so much work with like schools and stuff, because we work so much on POs, that there is quite a bit of money that is floated.
That can sometimes
and so the collection sometimes that part can be a little bit stressful. We do a pretty good job of it. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but
and you and I do a really good job at discussing things, trying to see the future per se, and forecasting stuff. So because of that, it's Kim, I can't. There really isn't much stress. There was a little bit of stress with the Dick's varsity team.
That's just order, right.
Sometimes when you come into that where
an
your
opportunity
vendor is not going to provide the garments that you need, and you're searching desperately for them. Well, okay, that can be a little bit. It's never been.
But we always know there's a way out. Yeah, there's always a way out.
And because we always say we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. What's your favorite part, do you think, about running this business with me? What's your favorite
My
part?
favorite part of running this business with you is not running this business with you, in a sense. More of a behind the scenes. Again, when in
you
the car
like being
business,
able to build your model
up
airplanes
front
in the
and right
garage.
there. I do love my model airplanes. Yeah, but it is the behind the scenes thing, or behind the seams. But that's my favorite part. I'm a little more chill.
Your favorite
and
part
relaxed
is you enjoy working behind the scenes. Actually,
I do.
You don't have a need to be in front.
I don't.
And doing this.
I don't have a need to be in front of the camera.
No, I had to drive in here.
So.
Right.
So that's I really
the part you like.
Yeah. And again, I spent 21, 22 years
in front.
Hi, how you doing? Welcome to thank you.
Yeah.
So
that's the part that you like.
Yes.
That's fair. I see that's the truth.
And then trying to solve problems. When you come in, hey, my God, the building's on fire. Well, okay, it's not really, Kim. Let's get that. Right. So that I do enjoy solving problems with you and putting plans together and processes, and it works out.
Okay, so this is the funny part. So we're gonna do some. So, who do you think is more stubborn, me or you?
maybe you.
Definitely me.
You are
Definitely me.
yeah. As far as stubbornness, yes. I don't. Again, it just comes down to how important is it, and
Right.
and so I'll give
You
in to
sort of like just watching me run amok.
She does.
Yeah, I do. I do. And he's just like, oh, there she goes again. Right?
Yes.
Who is more likely to be working at midnight? Me or you?
Now you. Mm-hmm. Now you, because you can't put it down sometimes. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing we do talk about, you compartmentalizing your time, because you feel like you got to keep going, and sometimes you have to put the books down. You have to put
and I do struggle with that.
You do.
I do struggle with that. But just because I care so much. Like, I care about the business so much. I care about my employees so much, the customers. Like, I just want to do a good job for everybody.
Yes.
And so it's really hard to put that down for sure.
But folks, please do not do that. If you're doing that, give yourself time to rest. Give the mind time to rest. Because if not, she is worthless if she works till 12 or 1
I'll
in the
crash.
morning.
I will crash.
Yeah.
I'll do a crash and burn, and then I'm no good for like 2 days.
And then I got to glue her back together.
Yeah, that's true. It's like Humpty. You got to put it back together again. I fell off the wall. Right?
Yeah.
What is one phrase that you think I say constantly that probably makes you crazy? Do you think I say anything?
No. No. You do use a lot when you talk.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The grammar police. The linguistics police. I mean, it's ridiculous.
But
maybe I say that because I have to talk more than you.
You do talk a lot.
Yeah. I don't see that there's a problem.
But there's no phrase where we're like, Mom says this all the time. No. Yeah.
What's something that you never thought that you'd learn from this business? Like, what's one thing that you learned that surprised you?
Gosh, I would say all of these software programs that are digitizing programs. You know?
Well, you're even like the CRM tools, right? Like,
well, the CRM tools, we had CRM at.
Oh yeah,
you
dealer. Or I guess that's probably what surprised me the most.
As far as those, that's really easy. We had
right.
We had
you
some
knew
pretty
so much
complex
about
things,
that.
Yeah. So, but the software for the digitizing, how you can digitize the stuff with the computer,
the capabilities of it.
Yeah, and how it translates to the machines and the mechanics of the machines. And I
do love machines.
I do like machines, and
it's got a lot of them. Right. What do you think would be your best advice for couples that are thinking about starting a business together?
Don't hesitate and do it. You have to pull the trigger if it makes sense for you. Even if financially you feel like you're going to go broke, a lot of the times you have to go all in with the chips, or else it's just not going to. You try to conserve, it's not going to happen. Most of the time, a lot of people will stop short of the breaking point or of the moment to get over the hump because of fear. Fear is a big factor that keeps people from moving forward, from progressing, and it is very important sometimes to set that fear aside and just to take the jump.
Go for it.
I've read enough books that's the biggest thing. Fear is one of the biggest things that keeps us from moving forward. Right. And you can see it in everyday life. You can see it with people that are just like, and they always wait. I have to wait for A, B, C, and D to be all together.
And then it's the next ABC.
And it just never happens, right? So, and that's the one thing that for sure you and I have done. We've jumped in with 2 feet.
We'll jump off the cliff.
Yeah. The Thelma and Louise thing. We're in the car and we're like, okay, here we go. Let's go. And surprisingly, here we are.
And I think, though, that, like, because people do ask me that question all the time, like, what's it like working with your husband? Like, is it terrible? Is it whatever? Because you hear, like, horror stories sometimes. And I do think that, like, when you first left the car business and started working with us full time, I think there was a little bit of, like, learning new routines that we had to do. And but I think it's one of those things where, like, not every marriage is the same. Not every business is the same. And so, like, what works for us doesn't necessarily work for somebody else. But I do think that, like, for me, I think having clear defined roles, like what's your responsibility and what's my responsibility, I think that's a big deal. It helps to know who's in charge of what. And being able to put it down sometimes I think is important too. But everybody's different. So like when people ask me that, I don't really know what to tell them, because like every marriage is unique and we're unique. Our business is unique. So what works for us might not just necessarily work for somebody else.
Yeah. Yes, every marriage is unique. Mm-hmm. But every marriage has to have communication, mm-hmm. and you both have to come to a common agreement. Mm-hmm. And come together to decide that, right? When I got out of the car business, the transition was tough because I felt like I don't know. There was a moment where I was kind of lost at first, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I need to go spend 12 hours somewhere,
right.
But again, you and I, since the beginning, since you trapped me.
Oh my God.
You trapped me.
I trapped him. He looks trapped. Look at that miserable guy.
We have always sat down and had these communications and and most of it happens in the car, right? I like driving.
Yeah, we take a lot of road trips.
And we would take the road trips and we would drive, and through these, you and I would communicate and establish all of these, okay, we're going to do this, and A, B, C, and D. So that led to this. I mean, we don't have like this major, every once in a while, we're not perfect, we fight.
Right.
And she starts them all, but that's okay.
And I win.
But maybe.
Mostly.
Sometimes. But it's communication. Sometimes people, I don't know if it's competitive or just they can't agree, and if you can't come to an agreement, that's a tough gig.
The agreements, and then also I think the one thing that has made it so we are capable of doing this is we have the same goal, the end result.
Definitely.
Because we might have different ways that we want to get to that goal, but we have the same goal. And I think that if you're working with your spouse, making sure that you have like the same goal is important. Mm-hmm. Because if one person wants the business to look like this and the other person wants the business to look like that, I think that's actually the bigger problem. We might have a different way that we want to get there, but we can figure those things out as long as our goal is the same. Right. You know what I mean? And we do, like every year we sit down at the beginning of the year and we decide what our goal is for the business for that year. And then we put a plan in place and we negotiate that plan, because
we do.
How you want that plan to go and how I want that plan to go, it could be a little bit different, but we figure it out. But the end goal is we have that part in common. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing, because I've seen some people and couples try to work together and their vision is different. And I think that's the biggest struggle because if you can't agree on the vision, then the rest of it's hard.
And that's business. Mm-hmm. You have to put a long-term goal. What do we want this to achieve? Okay, there. Now we have to come back to the start. Okay, let's take the first step, the second step. And you and I throw a lot of ideas around.
Yeah,
and
some go
and
some
agree,
don't. Right.
But then we come to terms, and then we move forward. And we're never frozen, really.
No, you can't be. I don't think we could live like that. What do you think you want this business to look like in 5 years?
As far as what? Like financially or physically? I mean, there's a...
Like in 5 years from now, what do you think this business looks like?
I would like to be in a bigger building, because we're busting
running
at
out
the
of
seams
space.
here.
Yeah, definitely running out of space.
Yeah, so I'd like to see that. In 5 years, I'm going to be 58.
I know, old.
That's
old.
Craziness.
Right.
So, I think in 5 years, I more of a hands off.
Mm-hmm. That is the one place where we kind of struggle.
Hands off. I know.
Because you want more hands off, and I actually really enjoy what I do.
She has control issues, folks. Just saying.
No. I actually really enjoy what I do.
Okay, and this is where we come into where our disagreements is, right?
Right.
But for me, it would work anyways, because you want to be involved and hands-on. That doesn't hurt, right? Mm-hmm. Ultimately, I would like to see a more... for it to be self-run in a sense, where I don't have to worry so much about everything like that's going on right now, because we're like in the weeds.
Right. Yeah.
But at least in
That would be
5
your
years,
goal.
yeah, and you would have the flexibility to do what you want at that point, where you're not forced to, I got to be there for this, or I got to be there for that, where it's like, you can come in and actually maybe you can see yourself as more of a trainer at that point and be training people and teaching people and passing on information versus what you do now is just you're just knee deep in it right now, right? So
Yeah.
but again, it's something that
we have to figure
discuss.
out. Yeah.
See,
what do you think? Yeah. Well, and I'm going to do what I want.
Of course, I do what I want.
Right. That's the bottom line. Okay. So last question, because I know this is like a kind of a big deal. Like, what do you feel like? Do you feel like this business is like just a business, or do you genuinely feel like we're trying to build like legacy for like our kids or our grandkids, or like how do you feel about that?
I feel, as far as our kids, they need to decide what they're going to
Yeah,
want.
if they want.
So you and I are basically, at this point, the discussions become legacy in a sense, right? What do we want to leave behind? Do we want to leave that opportunity for them, right? I think so. I think that, yes, I would.
We want them to at least have the option.
To have the opportunity that if they want to take this over, it's something that's up and running.
Right.
And they, and if anything, for them to be able to have this without being majorly involved.
Right.
In Jordy's case, if he's a pilot for, one of the airlines, because that's what he's doing, right? He's a commercial pilot, right? That he can have this business and still do that.
Right.
Having
Have
to
his
worry,
career, right?
The same for Fabi, right?
Right. That they can still have their own life, and this can just be like a supplement or something extra.
So one of my things is going back to the 5-year thing, having a business that doesn't take that type of energy that
is how you leave the legacy.
Yes,
right.
And so that could be that legacy, right? Apart from our other 401ks and stuff like that.
Right. For the kids.
Yes.
I think for me, like that is fundamentally like my biggest driving force is our kids. Like I work, I do these, and my grandkids, our grandkids. Well, they're really mine, but I'll let you.
They're mine too.
I'll share them with you a little bit, but they're mostly mine.
Okay.
I work so hard, like for them, because I want to be able to be in a position to help them when they need help, to have something for them later. I think for me, that's my driving force. I know, everybody has something different, but for me, that is number one, my kids and my grandkids. And
I agree. I agree on our kids to have, for us to have that power to be able to help if we need to, for us to have the time or
the time and finances to be able to be there for our kids.
If they run into any issues.
Right. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
So, all right. Well, thank you for getting up and getting dressed and putting your hat on so you didn't look scary. And anyways, that's it for us for today. So I hope you got a little tiny bit of a glimpse between behind the scenes with George and I, and how this business affects our marriage and or doesn't, and how we run the business together. So anyways, like, follow, subscribe. All the links will be below. And we can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye. See you later.